I'll cut the top of the door off here, and this one here. Pull it through, almost. There we go. So, that's that off. Now I'll take the top of the windscreen off. And I can use these sides here, go along the back here. As you see, once that corner's off, I can match that up to this one here and use that edging. Got the battery connected up there. What I've done is I've pushed the seats forward so that the runner, obviously the runners are straight, and there's obviously some motors underneath it, but those will sit flat on the main floor. So rather than step them up because the seats can tilt, what I'm going to do is cut these channels out here. So I'm going to cut a channel out here so it's in line with this floor and re-weld it and build it on both sides. That way we can bring the seats in and out. Unfortunately, that distance from there to the floor is 55, and so is this one from here to here. Not in the middle. It's, as you can see, there's a kind of raise in it. I'll show it to the side there. There's a raise in it, but we only need the floor to come back to here for the seats anyway. So the idea now is I'll build a new frame, which from the side here, and build a basic frame for it. Because the idea is that the front bulkhead and the rear bulkhead is one, and we can lift it on and off the chassis. So if at some point somebody wanted to get rid of the chassis or sell it on to the Citroen Club or Citroen people, you could do that and build a chassis directly from it. But I think that's probably the way to go. That's them sitting pretty straight there. So if I make those channels 7 centimeters across, there's enough for those seats to go just about wherever I want. And I think that's probably the way to go with it. So we can then we can lift them up and down as we want. But you can see how much movement there is in that seat. So I think these inflate in and out, I'm not sure. Anyway, something we can look at. But they won't sit in that position. Obviously I'm going to have to cut the rails out first. But I think that's the way to go. I went down today, I know a guy down in Fürstenfeld, he's into the Käfers as they call them in German, the Beetles, and I measured, he wasn't there but I'll talk to him tonight maybe, and see if he's got a spare bonnet or a front end wings, because I measured it and across this chassis is 115 centimeters from chassis to chassis, but with the wheel arches on it, or the rear arches, it's around 173, which is exactly what a Beetle is, or 172. And I'm just wondering if we can't use the front off a Beetle, which has got that nice scoop on it, and the indentations in the bonnet, and make the back end of this. Otherwise it means making a wire frame, and then making the panels fit the wire frame. So I don't know, I'm not quite sure. But as you see, the doors are cut off now. They're very rough. And obviously this has all got to come down to this level here, right the way across, and same with the roof. Possibly I will take these out. I might take these out, and you can see I've cut it too high there, so that piece will need to be straightened up for the windscreen, but I can sort that, I can cut that and sort it, and then we'll just have a glass gun across the top of it, like a roadster. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll cut that out now, and I've done with it, and then I'll find a sheet of steel that will go. That's 2mm the floor in that, so it doesn't bend and buckle, as you can see here. It's 2mm thick steel, which is more than strong enough, and there's a frame under it as well. So alright, let's crack on and see what more we can do. I've cut this side out already, but a little issue here on the back, so that side's cut out, that side's cut out, but there's a little hinge here that's sticking out, so I'm going to have to cut it a little bit more, as you can see there. That's going to have to come out to get that, and fortunately the seat's just enough to get over the top of that thing. So the other thing is I was going to, what we did earlier with this is we put a support in this. I've undone it now. You can see we put a bridge support underneath it because it was quite weak. And it's obviously, it was originally shaped like that for the prop shaft to come through, but there's now the springs are all done. Even with weight in the back of it, it wouldn't have come down that far, but we'll have to just check it all, put some weight on it and see exactly where it comes to. But what I'm thinking is, rather than build up the floor to this piece, rebuild this, keep this original one in case I sell the chassis and the engine and whatever the running gear, and make a new one and flange it and do it exactly the same way, but lower down so it all meets up with the floor, so the floor can be flat. I've cut these out now, and again there you can see it's much bigger, but the reason is for that, I don't know if I can operate this end. There you go, can you see it coming back? Oh, there's nobody sat in it because it's not anchored down. You can see that's the way it's got to go, but it will go past it. So they're going to come out about sort of that kind of distance, and it's got to come all the way along to the end of that runner. So that's them all out. What we'll do now is put the block section in, fill it back in, strengthen it back up, and then we're going to make a new support bar for here across, and I was thinking about making one with a flanged end with those 4 bolts there going through for the step, and it's a little bit further forward, but I'm thinking now this one must have been in to protect the spring hanger, because it's right above the spring hanger here and here, as you can see, so it's right in line with the spring hanger each way. So I think we'll reuse these holes and just make a new piece and put it back where it was. So obviously they're structurally for a reason, so we'll do that. But it would have been a nice option, that one. Just make 2 plates, put a square bar on it, use it as a floor, or use it as a beam. But that would have stayed with the chassis, not stayed with the body. I'll give you an update nearer the weekend. But yeah, we're moving forward. Very happy so far. We just need to work out how we're going to do this back. The only thing I can think is to build a frame from steel rod and then piss around with a shape until I'm happy with the shape, and then kind of fill it in, or maybe put some masking paper over it just to get an idea of what it might look like. It's a bit hard when you're doing it in your mind's eye. Anyway, on that note, as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and I'll catch you in the next one at the weekend. Take care, be good to each other.